Welcome to the Macros for Life podcast, where we talk all things macros, business, and marriage. We're your hosts, Eve and Randall Guzman. Visit our website at www.gtransformationacademy.com, where you can download our free How to Track Macros guide. This guide has helped over 15,000 people start their macro tracking journey.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Macros for Life podcast. Today I'm back to answer a really common question that I get when I do a lot of speaking engagements and I am there to talk about business growth and the success of our business. And that question typically ends up being something like, what was the thing that helped you be most successful in growing your business? And in the beginning of my business, if I was to guess what that answer would have been, I would have thought it would have been something like have a great website, have great branding on my social media platform. I also thought it was like, make sure my grid looks great. Even things like getting the best business coach, having the best transformation, and the list like goes on and on and on and on. And I ultimately found out that the thing that I needed to do that I wasn't doing to be successful was one of the things I was most scared of. And that thing was like being myself and talking about my journey. I was so nervous in the beginning of building my business to talk about my business. I was nervous to talk about my products, my services, myself, my story, my opinions on nutrition and fitness, what I was doing for my workouts, why I was picking to eat certain things, and like even advice on like navigating how to eat and all of that stuff. You guys, all I wanted to do was just post a photo and say, I'm open for coaching, and apply at the link in my bio and get clients that way. I'll be all the way honest. Like that is what I wanted to do. Like, wouldn't all of us love to just do a little post that says, I'm taking clients, apply with me? And I thought posts like that, my before and after transformation, because I have lost over 100 pounds, and then eventually getting good photo shoots and eventually getting someone to help make our brand look cute and get a cool website and like look put together on social media. And I realized those were the things that I didn't need because one, I didn't have money to afford those things. And I couldn't get those things because I didn't have any clients. I was one of those coaches that really knew what they were doing, and I didn't have a lot of clients. Like I was fumbling around only 6 years ago trying to get clients, being someone who had a great transformation and who thought they were pretty darn smart and had the tools, the blueprint, or the framework to help people get a transformation. I had no clients. Like every month, I was wondering when I was going to get the next client. Every month, I was wondering if my clients were going to stay. And the problem that kind of made me hit that reset every month, and then the problem that made me go, are these people wanting to stay with me? Like me, I was the actual problem. I had to release all of the things that I thought I needed to be a successful coach. And that really had to be me being me. And that meant showing up on social media looking like however I looked like. Like all of the coaches that we mentor in macro mentorship know when we get on our Zoom calls, come as you are. I don't care if you're coming with babies on your lap, your hair is a mess, if you're drinking caffeine at a certain hour. I'm not judging. Like, we don't care what you look like. We don't care what you're doing. We just want you to show up. I was afraid to do that. I didn't want to post a photo unless I thought it was good lighting, or I looked my slimmest, or like my curls were popping in a certain way. And I had a hard time because I thought people wanted me to be a certain way and wanted me to look a certain way. And when I started basically saying, fuck it, I'm going to like literally let my hair down, and whatever they're going to get on social media today is just what they're getting. That is when the doors really opened for me, because I realized when I was showing up as myself and I didn't care about what other people were thinking, that people were connecting to me because they could relate to me. I wasn't someone having perfect hair, having perfect photo shoots, perfect branding, and people going, oh my gosh, she's this perfect type A nutritionist whose food is all together, who's going to judge me when I go to work with her and I'm fearful. But they're like, oh my God, she's a mom of two. She's hustling. She's grinding to build a business. There's some days where she doesn't have a shower till noon. There's some days where the hat goes on for coaching calls because I haven't washed my hair in however many days. People could relate to me being myself. And when I started to let go of how I thought I had to show up, it became easier for me to talk to people. And so when I had those two things going for me, you guys, the doors opened. When I started just being myself and realized no one was leaving me weird comments, no one was going in on my hair being nappy, fuzzy, whatever verb you want to put in there. When people were like, me too, haven't had a shower, it's like 1 o'clock. You guys, I promise I take showers. I'm cleanly. But when people started saying things like me too, I'm like, oh, I can show up like this. This is how regular people are. And it became relatable. And then sometimes it became entertaining and they were watching me be like them. And once I realized that people were not unfollowing me and they were like, into what I was saying, I'm like, I'm going to keep this going. And then those posts that were just like, I lost 100 pounds. Macros are the way. I can help you do it. Apply link in bio. They started becoming more detailed. They started becoming posts that were educational, posts that were empowering, posts that were calling women to action, to really stand up for themselves and the goals that they wanted and putting themselves first. Like things started happening when I started, especially on stories, like letting go of who I thought I needed to be. All of the clients that I had been wanting and looking for month after month after month, they just started coming because I was being myself. And because I wasn't waiting to be perfect, I could hop on stories at any time and talk about something. So, like right now, if I wanted to talk about my meals, I didn't have to go, let me put foundation on. Let me go make sure my hair isn't a mess or put a hat on, straighten up the back behind, me, whatever that scene is, go put on a different shirt. I didn't have to do that stuff. I could just boom, think of an idea, think of a teaching moment, turn on the camera and teach and just go. I had to start letting go of what I thought people wanted to see from me and just be my damn self. And once I started to do that, I was literally just doing things afraid, talking about myself, talking about my story, and letting go of all that stuff is when I became most successful in my business. The second part of that was using storytelling to actually sell services. So like I said, I had those posts that used to be like, hey, I looked like this before. Now I look like this. Macros are the way. Lift weights. Apply link in bio to work with me. They started becoming more in depth. And I started talking about how I used to feel and how I was overwhelmed and sick and tired and crying with a pile of jeans at my feet in a dressing room thinking about like, is this life for me? Am I going to be wearing pants with a waistband before I'm even 30 years old? Am I going to be able to keep up with my kids? Is something ever going to happen to me and someone's going to have to help take care of my kids because I'm obese, I'm overweight, I have high blood pressure, I waddle when I walk? Like these things that I'm saying are things that are my story. And these were things that other people could relate to. Their why they wanted to do it, their points of frustration. Because let's be honest, people run away from discomfort, fear, and pain, and they run towards gratification, happiness, self-fulfillment, and them reaching their goals. Me not elaborating on how I got here was one of the things that was holding me back. But I couldn't story tell. I couldn't be empowering because I was so caught the fuck up in how do people think of me? You're like, how are people thinking of me when they see me? And I'm definitely here to tell you, your people are going to find you. You need to be able to get on stories and talk about yourself and talk about your business and how you can change somebody's life. And you want the people who want to work with you to keep watching every day, even if they're not going to be a yes for 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months. And you want the people who don't like you to get the fuck off your page. When you can start being yourself, you're going to repel the people that you don't want to coach anyway. I will be all the way honest. Like, you don't want those people in your corner. You're going to have a hard time coaching you. If they don't like you now, they're not going to like you later. You want them to unfollow and poof, be gone. The people that are your people, you want to build your community with them and lock arms and grow, and you help them. They support you. They promote you. And it become like this beautiful cycle of you building a community of people that are more like you. But you're never going to get there unless you step out of your comfort zone and start being who you want to be and say the things that you want to say. This is how we were able to create a successful business. When I stopped caring and I started talking about things that meant stuff to me, and I did not care about what other people thought. Because I started looking at people who are successful that I looked up to. And I'm like, they were exactly where I started. What is the difference between me and them? They did things fearlessly. They did it afraid, and they just jumped. And part of that is getting past imposter syndrome, talking about yourself, and just showing up no matter what. If I was still the person that did not want to talk about myself and my business and my journey, and I had to get my hair ready, get my face ready, get my outfit ready every time, I would have quit building this business 9 years ago, and I would be back in a laboratory doing what I was doing before. Like, you have to get uncomfortable. Think about the people that you're like, oh, their business is so amazing. They started where you're at, but they decided to get uncomfortable and just do the things. I decided that. You can decide that. Why not you? Definitely. Like, why not you? Like, where would you be if you spent the next 6 months just doing what you want to do and the way that you want to do it and saying it the way that you want to say it? That is how you're going to ultimately grow your business. I definitely hope this was a great pep talk for you today, and this has really inspired you in different ways of how to approach your business so that you can grow and you can scale. But I'm going to remind you at the very end of this, it's all going to be on you. The only person that is going to limit you in getting to where you need to be is you. So you have to decide, am I going to hold back? Am I going to be fearful and not get this message out and not help people? Or am I just going to go out and do it afraid?
Thanks for listening to our podcast today. Make sure you like, share, and tag us on Instagram. Also, subscribe to our channel so you don't miss future episodes. In the meantime, be healthy and get wealthy.